What's up guys, this video I'm going to break down how I personally got rid of all my insecurities and show you how you can as well. Did you guys know that according to YouTube analytics, over 70% of the people who watch our videos have not subscribed to the channel? So before we get into this video, I want all of you guys to hit the subscribe button and comment below, I subscribed, and we will do our best to personally respond to every single comment. So believe it or not, I used to have a lot of insecurities when I was younger. A big one was my heritage. So I've talked about this in the past. I was actually an immigrant to America. I moved here when I was 7 from Belarus, right? And I was very insecure about that. I felt like an outsider. I didn't really speak English that well, and I moved to a small suburban town where everyone was basically American. So for example, I was hanging out with my friends and my mom would come and she would start speaking to me in Russian. I'd be like, Mom, no. Like I was very self-conscious of that. Or when my friends would come over, right? I would hide all my Russian stuff, and whenever someone made a Russian joke or like, oh, you're a communist, I would get really like fucking embarrassed, self-conscious, right? And the ironic thing is if I was just like, yeah, fuck yeah, I'm Russian, right? All the jokes would have gone away. But this is something, an insecurity that I've done a complete 180 now, because now I see it as a minor advantage. I'm more well-versed than the average American who's only lived in, America. And also, a lot of girls find it sexy that you can speak a foreign language, especially one that's not too common, fluently, right? So now I see it as a minor advantage instead of the massive disadvantage I used to see it as. So how did that happen? Well, I think there's two things. I think the first one is you have to temporarily suspend disbelief, right? So if you're convinced that, for example, oh, I'm too ugly, right? You just have to suspend disbelief, become agnostic on the issue. Be like, I don't know if I'm too ugly or not. And then once you do that, you can start getting positive reference experiences that contradict your insecurity, right? So every time I'd have a girl say, oh, you speak Russian? That's sexy. Can you talk to me in Russian? It would chip away at my insecurity. And the more it happened, the more I started to chip away at, until I got to a point where I had so many positive reference experiences that this whole idea that being Russian is somehow a disadvantage became laughable to me. It's like so fucking funny that I used to think that was a bad thing, right? And that can happen with all your insecurities, right? Now, not all of them are going to become advantages. Some of them might just be neutral, but that's okay. So if you're convinced that you're too ugly, right? Every time you have a girl that says, oh my God, I love fucking you. Oh my God, you're so hot after sex. Or just anytime you have a girl who sleeps with you, right? You're chipping away at that insecurity and you're chipping away at it. I can take any guy. Let's take any guy who's convinced that they're too ugly. And let's say I have a magic wand and I get them laid, 30 days in a row with a new hot chick every day. I guarantee you that's going to severely chip away at whatever fucking insecurity they have, no matter how well entrenched it is in their brain. Another common one is penis size, right? A lot of guys are insecure about their dick. They're worried like, oh my God, what if a girl meets a guy with a bigger cock than me? Yes, like that's probably going to happen. I don't care who you are, how big your dick is. There's someone out there who has a bigger dick than you. Usually this insecurity comes from guys watching too much porn and they think that's the average penis size. I used to be one of them, right? All I knew about, what women, experience inside their vagina was from watching pornos. I never had any girls that I had sex with in real life. And by that standard, my penis was on the smaller side, right? But then once I hooked up with a few girls and girls were like, oh, I love your dick, then that kind of got rid of that insecurity, right? So you can do that with literally anything. I think another big one that guys have is they're insecure in their relationship. They think that their girlfriend is going to cheat on them. It becomes a paranoia. Now look, I'm not saying that you should just live in a state of delusion or walk around with wool over your eyes, right? No, like you should take reasonable precautions. The same thing you would do with, let's say, getting cancer, right? So you might do regular blood work. You might, avoid, any exposure to something that's potentially harmful and stuff like that. But you're not sitting there all day thinking, oh, fuck, what if I get cancer? What if I get cancer? What if I get cancer? You're not beating yourself up over it. It's the same thing with this. You want to screen your girlfriend very carefully. You want to establish strong boundaries. You want to have good communication, right? But once you do that, you shouldn't really be insecure about your girlfriend cheating on you, right? If it happens, it fucking happens, right? But if you're sitting there and you're thinking about it, right, that's going to manifest in your relationship. And ironically, it's going to make it more likely that your girlfriend's going to cheat on you, right? It becomes this element of a self-fulfilling prophecy. So when I was insecure about my looks, right, I was like, fuck, I think these girls think I'm ugly because I didn't have much success with women. It became a self-fulfilling prophecy because when I talked to girls, I was less confident. I was less sure of myself. And that manifested, and as a result, girls didn't hook up with me, which fueled my, negative thought process I had in my head, right? And becomes this vicious cycle. So the first step, like I said, is to suspend disbelief. Just become agnostic on the issue, and then you can seek out positive reference experiences. Here's the really cool thing about being human. You can literally rewire your brain. You become a totally different person 5 or 10 years from now, right? It's all about the path that you choose and taking conscious action, again, to seek out those positive reference experiences. And when you get a negative reference experience, you know what you do with it? You just chalk it aside, right? You don't marinate marinate on it, you don't focus on it, you don't obsess over it, you let it go. But when you get positive reference experience, you sit on it, you think about it, and you acknowledge it, and you kind of bring it in. Because again, you want to choose what goes into your brain, right? Think of your brain as this massive sponge that just absorbs everything, right? You want to block the bad shit from being absorbed and get the good shit. And a small element of self-delusion is actually not a bad thing when it comes to certain things, right? If you're a guy who's, I don't know, like let's say objectively average looking, right? And you're convinced that you're very attractive, that's actually a good thing because it's going to make you more confident. It's going to make you more sure of yourself. Now, you don't want to become too delusional to where you think, oh my God, I'm the hottest guy on the planet, right? Because that's just going to come off weird, right? But a little bit of self-delusion is actually not a bad thing, especially when it comes to meeting women. All right, hopefully you guys found this video valuable and you can prove to yourself that you don't have an insecurity about becoming a Playing with Fire subscriber by smashing that like button, hitting subscribe, and clicking that bell for notification for good measure. Let us know in the comments what you think your biggest insecurities are and how you got over them. Thank you guys for watching. Until next time.